Hello and welcome to today's wrong game, historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on French Vanilla. French Vanilla is a green-white aggressive deck that combines a load of French Vanilla creatures and a couple of their unique alchemy exclusive payoffs. Now, we'll look at the new Dragon Sniper as I take a second to explain what French Vanilla is. In the super shortest terms that I can think to explain it, and I'm pretty certain I'm right, but I might not be entirely wrong. I've gotten the history of some terms wrong before, so if I have, forgive me. But anyway, French Vanilla is when a creature is... think of it as one step above vanilla. Example, let's say Dragon Sniper was just a one-mana... Hi, Cat. Okay, Cat. Thank you for gumming up the works, but sure, we can hang out now. Okay, come lay down. Let's say, for example, that Dragon Sniper was a 1-mana 1/1 with no abilities. That would be called a vanilla creature. A French vanilla creature is a creature that has only keywords attached to it. So in the case of the Dragon Sniper, what makes it French Vanilla is the Vigilance, Reach, and Death Touch. So, that is what a French Vanilla creature is. There are several throughout the list, and some that are like a step above French Vanilla, but are not the point. Those cards, in addition to 2 cards that I've seen that came through Alchemy, have always interested me to try and make a deck. I just never really found a place for them. One is Priest of Possibility. The other is Sproutwatch Dryad. Priest of Possibility functionally says, when this creature enters, look at the top 7 cards. Basically, get any of the keywords that are on any of those top 7 creatures and put it on the Priest of Possibility. Phone. Pardon the phone call. Anywho, we talked about Priest of Possibilities basically getting whatever keywords that are off the top 7 creatures. And we also have the newer Sproutwatch Dryad. 3 mana 3/3. At the beginning of each combat, basically gain all of those keywords from amongst creatures you control and creatures in your hand. So both the Dryad and the Priest basically care about you having a load of other creatures that have various keywords on them. So we combine these, a load of creatures with fine stats, and usually a couple of good keywords. In addition to this, we also have 3 Tree Battalion, since really the deck is kind of built around 2 cards that only occupy 8 slots. 3 Tree Battalion can, in theory, give us extra copies of the sort of French Vanilla payoffs that we want. That's why we're running 3 Tree Battalion and not a Collected Company. But if you only had Coco and didn't have this, you could run Coco and you'd be fine. But the rest of the deck is pretty self-explanatory glue that I put in loads of decks. Apparitions, interaction. Get Lost, interaction. Takatsia's Welcome in Ranger class, functionally card draw that have, in the case of Ranger class, some extra upsides. Land base, very self-explanatory. As an aggressive deck that wants to hit the ground on turn 1 and start chipping away with little creatures, we basically run a land base that, put that over there, a land base that will allow us to hit the ground running on turn 1. Now, this other than shock, or other than shock lands, basically run a land base that will allow you to do that. I have some utility lands, since it's always nice to get some utility in cards you were going to run anyway. Again, run what you like. It's not that big of a deal. Sideboard. Not as pretty self-explanatory silver bullet cards, but you can't get as many silver bullet cards that also sort of pay off the French Vanilla thing going on, so they're just sort of generically good. Ooze for Graveyard, Nine of Autumns for Naturalize on a body that can also be found from a 3 and maybe Lifesteal. Loxodon Smiter helps against counterspell heavy decks and discard heavy decks, and again, 3. Settle the Wreckage and Cleansing Nova are both basically sweepers, where Settle can be a one-sided, Cleansing is a sweeper. Boromir and Selfless Spirits are ways to protect our board from opposing sweepers. Grand Abolisher and Thalia are against decks that want to do a whole lot of stuff on our turn, basically. In trying to give this deck the best chance possible against too much interaction, since a deck that's trying to be this cute can struggle against too much interaction. But anywho, that's all for the deck tech. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future, and if you have any sort of questions like I don't have X, what about Y, or other nice and or constructive comments, I'll answer those in the comments below. The only thing that I'm going to sort of qualify as sort of requirements for the deck to work are the Dryad and the Priest of Possibility. Maybe you could argue getting away with one of them if you only have the wild cards for one. You could probably do one and be okay, but I'd argue these two cards are required. Otherwise, the theme doesn't really work anymore. Anywho, now we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our French vanilla list. Also, fantastic. I'm almost... Is that how you spell siege? Because my brain's confused if they just got Siege Rhino with no, like, weird characters or alt codes to it. Anywho, play first because we have a brain. And this is a perfectly acceptable hand. Creature on 1, payoff on turn 2. Can't super ask for much more than that. See what our opponent's running. We'll determine how many headaches we may or may not have. Okay. Okay. Well, I have no idea. So in the meantime, Priest of Possibility. Hopefully we get some good hits. 2-3 keywords. Be lovely. Hexproof, Vigilance, Reach, and Death Touch. We also got Flying and Trample. So what, 5? Yeah. And that is, like, kind of the ideal circumstance, really. Granted, you're never... Getting, 5 of them is, like, kind of the nuts draw, but, I mean, we'll take it. But yeah, that's basically what the deck wants to do, and now we just hopefully can... Let's let me see what they're running. Will hopefully let us... okay. Put on the pressure. Vein Ripper makes me think some very boring Sorin thing, but I could be wrong. In the meantime, do a land, tapped, another Priest of Possibility. Both of our dudes have flying, so we just go over. Flying and Trample, Flying and Lifelink. There we go. That's a little more representative of the average hit. Tried to make it to where most of our creatures have a minimum of 2 keywords that we want to hit. The exception of the 1 mana 1/1 with Hexproof. But that's more so because actual Hexproof is a little harder to find in modern Magic. And I understand the reasoning why. But this hasn't been, like, retroactively added to include Ward or stuff. So, kinda gotta dig deep. And that's the reason why we love the option, or at least we like the option of having Hexproof, because you don't want the thing your deck's building around to just die immediately to removal. Of course, you can't always stop it. Sometimes things are going to happen, blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, we are chunking our opponent. This Mana Confluence is really doing work for us, which we enjoy. Please be Sorin. That's not... Okay. I thought it was some, like, Sorin vampire tempo-y thing. Okay, so it is. It is. This card does not get run in anything other than Sorin decks. Yep, there it is. I hate so much that they made such a cool card so goddamn boring. But okay, that's fine. What's all the extra shit? Yeah, yeah. It's always Saint Alinda, man. Like, maybe, 1 in 4 might be a Vein Ripper, or if they're feeling spicy, might be a Gulta. But man, it's genuinely not. It's just, yeah, it just sucks. Oh well. In the meantime, another Priest of Possibility. Got, what, 5 now on that one? Another, what? Or 4? No, it's 5. I was right. Get rid of the Sorin with 1. Do the Priest. If we're being honest, we would not be the most surprised if they just have another Sorin and they play the Vein Ripper. If they do that, life sucks. That cool. Thought season away, baby. Well, exactly what I thought was going to happen. Wait, do they both have Death Touch? Oh. I don't care as much as I thought I did. They both have Vigilance. Well, I mean, we attack with all 3. Well, hang on. What do we do here? If we attack with all 3, we threaten lethal. The only free block is the 1-2. But we take that. Still gets rid of the Vein Ripper thanks to Death Touch and Trample in like the nice way that particularly interacts. Isn't down tick? No, they're both up ticks. That's absurd that Sorin doesn't have to sacrifice a vampire to like protect itself on an uptick. Okay. Oddball as hell, but sure. You sure showed me. I'll take your Juggernaut. Hang on. When you do. Hang on. Was I talking mad shit and I'm just wrong? Do I misunderstand? That's worded weirdly. When you do. Okay, maybe. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. I misinterpreted that. I viewed that as he didn't have to sacrifice it to do the Helix. He does. It's just worded in a way that it would. I think I'm used to seeing this effect as as an additional cost to do this. Do X in this case. Sack a vamp. Oh right. Hang on. Yeah. I mean. Okay, they're kind of losing the plot here. Like, all of my shit talking about, like, boring Sorin aside, you don't usually dilute that with all that, all that gunk. Weirdly, I think I'm just going to run it again. Like, I don't think, it's that much different I can do. Make an argument of maybe, bringing in some sweepers. We got a game up, though, and I think I'd prefer to try and just, like, run through them again. Although I might, be very stupid and wish I had, at least brought in some settles or something. Well, that is no creatures on 1 or 2 of any note. Very slow hands. We're going to throw that back. Beautiful. Fantastique. Going to keep. Throw away the 3 tree because it's the most expensive. And again, look out on 1. Priest on turn 2. I didn't totally read this card. This card ETB, top 3 of your library, creature, land, or planeswalker. From them. In your hand, rest in the bottom, and color fixer for planeswalkers. Cool. Yeah. We will do the lookout. I was thinking about playing a green source and maybe doing the Dragon Sniper. We don't love the fact that we drew that, because we're losing hits for the priest here. Which is not fantastic. Get the fuck out of here. I bricked totally. Yeah. And there is always this reality that really holds this back from being anything more than like a fun deck. You know, it's a fun deck. What holds that back is the fact that there are times where, you know, you're gonna brick like that, and then you're just left sitting here looking real dumb. We will attempt to, like, keep making this happen. As the dog loses his mind in the other room. I'm not gonna try and be cute with the Park Heights Pegasus. What do you want, dog? Why are you losing your mind in the other room? Okay, that's fair. That's an odd sideboard thing to bring in. Well, it's hilarious they didn't get any card draw out of it. It's an odd one to bring in, but it works. I guess we'll do Ranger class. What, buddy? 1 second. I'm going to keep her... Okay, here it comes. But I'm going to keep recording real fast. Oh boy, this card. I'm trying to wait for like a dull moment so I could like stop recording and see what the dog wants. Honestly, yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. I was like trying to think of some like cute word. Alright. I got 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And we're back. I think the dog is just wanting attention in the other room, and I'm a little busy, so he'll be fine, but I apologize if you hear that in the background. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Saddles are coming in. Park Heights is cute, but we need more interaction, really. And honestly, nah, a 3-3 can go down. That's fine. Yeah, bring in the settle. Hopefully we can get them to like overcommit to a board state. Settle is one of those sweepers that does particularly well in a best of one. Not best of one. I'm sure it does well in that too. But in a ladder environment where you don't know what your opponent's running. That's good. 1 drop. Thing to do. We'll do the Healer's Hawk. Just more evasive threats in a vacuum. They could Thought Seize away one of our priests, but not both. Hopefully we don't brick again. Come on, not a brick. Flying Lifelink. Okay. I mean, we didn't brick, though, so that's a victory. Even though it might not feel like one. That's fine. Yeah, the deck is all over the place. It's very odd. But, I mean, alright, I guess. In that case, since we didn't draw a land, just develop more of a board and hope we can get under whatever they're trying to do. Most lands in the deck will allow us to play a Skyclave, other than the Flying Dragon land, whose name I can't remember. That's the only dud. Pardon the finger cracks. Honestly, duds to the point where I'm actually gonna get rid of it. We might... Wait, sorry? Oh, right. I realized immediately my fuck up. That's gonna come back. Oh, that makes me... Well, okay. I think that's literally just gonna come back as a 5/5 thing above curve. That's fine. I goofed and mistaked the... what is that effect called? Impending or whatever the hell it is. I mistook the impending cost as the cost of the actual creature, but that's not how that works. I should know better. I'm an idiot. For being entirely honest, like, that's really cute and all that, but like, I mean, okay, we don't not care. That's hyperbole. I guess Park Heights Pegasus, because they're flyers. Just go over the top with the rest. Weirdly, we sort of circled back around to, like, threatening lethal. Oh, these are... Well, okay, he can give a thing lifelink, right. I mean, that's fine. Right, he gets rid of all that. If we don't draw... Honestly, I'm just going to eat it. Kind of have to draw... with St. Alinda, I don't think there's anything we do there. Yeah, if we don't draw like a settle exactly, it kind of doesn't matter what we hit. Skyclave is close. Okay, that's better. Get rid of the Sorin. Hope they don't have another one, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Okay, I was like, what are they hoping for here? How much is that? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can't play that. You could do the Witch Enchanter to get rid of a swooping lookout or whatever. Which one is that? Damage from this creature. Sorry. Put a creature card exile with this creature onto the battlefield under your control. Finality counter on it gains haste. And that's the game! Alright, cool. I mean, that's fine. They did it. And it's like not always going to work, so. And that's fine. Still fun, though. Now we'll go on to game number 2, unless I'm mistaken, but all of it's starting to bleed together today. So, game number 2, unless it's not. Sorry about that. And it was game number 2. I am correct. As you can see, our opponent went first, so the decision was made for us. So you didn't really miss that much. Okay. Death Touch Talk, cool. Guess we'll do a Dragon Sniper, because I don't want to take any more toxic damage than we need to. I think it's still considered poison. Any more poison damage than I have to. If he gives up his dude for free, we'll take it. But in the meantime, got lucky and drew into a priest a possibility. And we have a Dryad on 3, which is great. Alright, just flying and trample. This has vigilance. We can attack for free. Again, if he takes it, we're happy. We will, of course, block again if the opportunity comes up. Ooh, some sort of like, yeah, Golgari toxic thing, or Golgari like poison? Ooh la la. Okay. We'll do Pathway on green so I can play a Dryad. Well, maybe we take a turn off. I'm gonna not attack here. Their list is interesting, if nothing else. That's some sort of fight thing. That's pretty cute. This is one of those where, yeah, any amount of interaction and this deck starts to like really be in trouble. You have to just take whatever block we can get our hands on. Do a Ranger class, as well as a Healer's Hawk, and again, just try and put bodies on the board. This is one of those, like, another one of those decks where I don't think I could recommend this deck if you're looking for, like, a good list that's gonna, that's gonna get, like, good results, you're gonna get lots of wins. I don't think that this deck is that, if we're being honest. It's a fun building challenge, and if you like, you know, to build interesting decks and try and make it work like that, we'll do the Priest. If you like the like interesting deck construction like aspect of it, get hexproof at least. and you want to have fun, then you'll have fun with this list. But if you don't, or don't particularly care about that, and you want like a good list, I don't think this is it. I'm still very glad I did it. I love our opponent's deck. It's like an actually interesting list. Making use of like the really cool fight effects and stuff. It's like awesome. Block you, block you. Wouldn't be surprised at a combat trick. We take those. Yeah, we'll do a Dryad. Why not? Little draw. Go ahead, attack there. We do have to block if he attacks with the fin, but I'd be surprised, yeah, if he lets that happen. It's very unfortunate. But if we're, you know, we're going to get rocked by a deck, I prefer to get rocked by a cool deck. So, get lost in the meantime. I think we'll take a turn off to play another welcome. Hopefully start to be able to claw back some card advantage, because we're still in this game. Another one of those cards that I had always found really interesting. They're doing it. They are doing it. Alright. And you gotta run some of the bugs to make the roach work. I see our opponent and I have had similar thoughts. Do the priest. Draw some. I should have ordered that better. Luckily I didn't get punished. In that case, I think we will just do a get lost on the... What is his name? Skull Dweller. Go face. Don't know if we've turned the corner, but it's getting there. The protection from green is like gonna weirdly be relevant. Okay. Yeah, do your thing. That's cute. You troll and 6 in. That's even better, honestly. That case, we'll do a bridge work battle. I guess we do the one that has lifelink, right? Oh no, we need to do the priest so it lives, actually. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Play it, Pegasus. Can pretty freely go face now. Believe we have turned the corner. And we'll play the Beseiju, why not? Play a Sproutwatch next turn. Pro green is the thing that scares me the most. But that's just a regular guy, so we can take the 2. That's fine. Do a Sproutwatch. Then we will... 3 trees, nice. Was gonna say we might uptick the ranger class, but I don't think we need to. Just gonna go face with everything. Keeping open a 3 tree if we need it. See what our opponent does, though. You gonna attack with stuff? There's no reason. Actually, don't want them to get the card draw. I was gonna say it's a free block, but it's not. They're actually gonna get a card out of it. So we'll 3 tree on their instep. Yeah, we'll do Park Heights because that'll give us flying lethal. Card draw doesn't particularly matter. Yes, yes. There we go. I really like our opponent's deck, though. It's super interesting. I guess we'll do... Yeah, this would be a good settle game. Cleansing might be a little extra. One tree can come out. Well, honestly, probably a couple trees can come out. Probably. They're not. I don't know. Thinking about a Selfless Spirit. I guess we can take out a Park Height Pegasus and bring in a Selfless Spirit. And it'll keep a flyer at the same slot. And hopefully give us some interaction with all their Death Touch stuff. I might regret not having gone out of my way to make more cuts for Boromir to do like much the same thing. That's not great because it's a one-lander I can't use. That's good enough that I'm not gonna look a Gift Horse. Oh, come on, opponent. You were fine. But you know what? No, I'm actually gonna... One, again, if we're being honest, I'm running low on recording time. But if our opponent is like... Well, okay, with the caveat, maybe they had some IRL stuff come up, and IRL stuff is more important than the game. Or I can take this as the ego boost that they got really scared of a French vanilla deck. And you do get wins with it, like, not for nothing. You're not gonna climb higher rank than Platinum in my experience with this list. It's not that good, but it's an average deck, and in the hands of an average pilot, you'll reach an average Platinum rank, which is really all you can hope for. But yeah, fun list. If you want a deck that's good and going to get you lots of results and going to let you climb to like higher ranks and all that jazz, this is not the list for you. If you like fun build-arounds and like are cool with having a less a less optimal experience but having a more fun one, this deck is the place to be. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like me and my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions like, I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below and I'll respond to what I see. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.